All right. Good. Anybody that didn't get a chance to ask a question or like to ask a question?
Yes.
You didn't?
Yeah. You have to go eat. And she was.
No. I'm talking about all together. Just didn't ask a question at all today. Yes. What you got?
Good question. Everybody trying to convince me I need an iPhone. I'm an Android guy. No, you don't. Even you just said.
Hey, man, no personal questions, bro. No personal questions.
I got an Android. I gotta have an iPhone.
You do.
You don't need, yeah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, Android cameras are a lot better. But it is inconvenience.
Yeah, so the thing is, I use both. I own both, right?
Do you?
I do. But my Android has stayed in my nightstand drawer for like a year. And the reason is, even though I prefer the camera on my Android, I do business with people who usually use iPhones. And when we're transferring content back and forth, it compresses so much that it becomes fuzzy and not so clear. And then a lot of technology right now kind of prefers iPhone. Like they build stuff for iPhone first and then the Android version comes out. So why I got to be delayed? I'm first. iPhone.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. We have a mic, y'all?
Are you all using LinkedIn at all? I know that's been a lot of talk. He's talked about it. Some other people have talked about the
Ask the question again in the mic, please. Yeah. Sorry.
Have you all began focusing more on LinkedIn at all? Are you using that at all when it comes to the podcast? No.
Well, this week I started.
Okay.
This week. Well, I'm being intentional about one a day, putting something up one a day to see. Because, and now it's so interesting. I don't really understand how LinkedIn works. I just know how to post and I'm starting to see some stuff, but it's giving me some analytics. It's showing me, I think it was one post and it showed me that X amount of people that are COOs looked at it, X amount of people that were something executives looking at it. I said, whoa, this is really, really cool. So my objective is being omnipresent, meaning being everywhere. So the person
You heard me say that.
Huh?
You heard me say that. He did not
I actually got it
use
from Neo.
the word omnipresent. Who
Did you get it from
got
Neo?
From me? No.
Oh.
No.
Maybe.
Be omnipresent on social. Yeah, be omnipresent.
Neo said that, right?
Neo got that from me. Trust me. Okay. The thing is, Neo and I are currently being mentored by the same group, and they say it so much.
Oh, gotcha.
So, yeah. Be omnipresent, meaning show up everywhere. So you definitely want to lean heavily on your top 2 preferred channels. Yeah. But especially if you need to target businesses or corporate professionals. And now more entrepreneurs are showing up because we haven't really been seeing ourselves as corporate professionals. But you got a corporation, don't you?
Yeah.
I got a corporation. I am a corporate professional. I just own my corporation.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely test out everything before you exit out. And if you have to ask, should I be there? Just try it.
Yeah.
I just started like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Just show up on LinkedIn.
I did. I mean, people are talking to me that I don't know I don't know how they found me, right? But they look real professional. The people that's commenting.
So what happens is when you put your profile on LinkedIn, it alerts everybody who may have an interest in what you set your interest to or whatever your tags are. And it will say David Shands, podcaster, coach, blah, blah, blah. And then they look at it that way.
So what's the conversation like when you're getting started, David?
I don't know. I was posting podcast stuff.
No, you said people are now messaging you, right?
Well, they're not messaging me, but they're commenting on the posts.
Oh, okay.
And they're just agreeing or, I like that or that makes sense and stuff like that. So I don't understand the platform, but I'm going to do my best to just be on there and just making certain posts and talking to that audience. Because what I'm seeing is obviously everybody, they put their job and their title, which is an arena that I'm not normally playing in. I'm normally talking entrepreneurship. So I want to be careful of not being too entrepreneurial, but more podcasts, because there are corporations that will pay for me to set up their podcast department. Mm-hmm. So more podcast information, because I have a group right now and it's working out really, really well. And I want to do that for more companies. So we'll see.
And just understand the platform. So more people on LinkedIn are on LinkedIn because they are looking for an opportunity. So how do you position your opportunity in a way that's going to resonate with the people who need that opportunity?
Yeah,
People are not on LinkedIn for entertainment.
that's a fact. Good.
Yeah. How y'all doing? My name is Jody. I own some juice bars in Virginia, and I have some interest in like some high level influencers. And I'm wondering, the question is,
I'm your boy.
you my boy.
I'm a high level. Well, what high? How high level?
Hi, I mean, it's your network, But basically my question is, when you have a business that you're successful in your business, would you pursue like partnering? Would you pursue partnering with high level influencers if you can do it on your own financially, but you don't have the know-how on online to scale it? Would you, sell a portion of your company? I know it's not a podcast question, but I'm curious because I'm in a situation where it's possible to link and partner, but I'm wondering, is it necessary or not? So what would you do in a case like that?
So here's the thing. If your business profitable,
Yes.
okay,
I have
highly
a couple
profitable,
of stores.
couple
I
of
have a few
stores.
yeah.
So we,
I don't
Can
have
get some more of that
online
pink
space.
juice with the mint in it. That joint was. I'm sorry.
I was trying to bring some for everyone here, but I couldn't reach.
yeah.
in time.
So the thing is,
Yeah.
just for clarity, before I dig into that question, we offer partnership opportunities. So whoever you're looking at right now, you probably want to look at us first.
Okay.
Just
All right.
putting that out there. However, do you need to sell off a piece of your business to connect with influencers? The answer is it depends. It depends. There are some influencers that may serve your brand that get paid a fee, right? You just pay them their fee, they do their marketing. And then there are other influencers that you may want to consult with for equity. Like Shan's and I would be equitable partners. We're not interested in a fee to do certain types of work, but it depends on what it is that you need. So if you just need marketing exposure, I don't know that I would give a percentage of my equity away for marketing exposure because there's so many opportunities for me to just pay fees to do that, right?
Right.
But if I need you also, if I need marketing and if I need some help with scaling and if I need some consultation and I need you there all the time, then I would consider bringing you on in exchange for equity.
Okay. Yeah. Great. Yeah, because I have a lot of experience with brick and mortar. The online space that's my Achilles.
I would. In your scenario, I would I would partner with people who have influence and understand marketing, but I wouldn't do it just based on what's happening today.
Right.
Hey, you promised to do X, Y, and Z, and I give you X percent. It's going to be based on some growth.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right. Especially if you're doing, obviously you do brick and mortar.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a particular strategy that you're trying to implement, maybe online somehow.
That's my goal is to scale online.
I mean, if I were you, I would probably negotiate that portion with an influencer because a lot of times they're not even going to know any better.
Right.
Like, yo, I want to give you X amount of portion to build this online. And you make X amount of money off of each sale online when really that whole online strategy builds your in-person business too.
Yes.
So I'm just saying I wouldn't do what I'm telling you to do if I was
This is
the
more
influencer.
affiliate.
Okay.
Correct. I mean, but sometimes you'll have a section of your business where you have a whole nother LLC about it or a whole nother company, and that person has equity in that partnership. Right, on that particular side. But you always got to think worst case scenario. What happens if this person stops working? What happens if this person just walks away? What happens if it doesn't grow like I think it's going to grow? What happens?
Right.
So I would for sure talk to an attorney. I would for sure talk to some people who are in acquisitions and just go through that process. Find out what they want. Find out what's going on, or somebody who's been acquired. So.
The first step, though, you need to do is email info@davidanddonni.com.
No doubt.
Putting that out there.
You want a juice bar?
Cause
Where's the
I-
juice bar
I'm
at?
gonna send you guys some stuff. I'm gonna get the info.
Where's the juice bar at?
In Virginia, I got on campus at Old Dominion University. I have a juice bar on campus, and I also have a brick and mortar store in the Virginia Beach area. I'm actually getting ready to do something out here because I've been doing a lot of networking, coming to these events. So
Just some of the juice.
yeah,
I drink
No.
juice.
I drink juice all
I
the time.
drink juice. I like the taste of juice. In fact, I've been doing juice for the last week only.
For sure.
I think I'm an expert and an authority on juice.
oh, you said
I don't
I'm
even
curious.
drink liquor, so when I go out, I be getting mocktails all the time, and I
And
want some fresh
sometimes
juice.
all you got to do is put a little fresh mint in that juice.
What?
And it makes it feel like a cocktail, but it's still a mocktail. We know something about juice.
I hear. I'm curious. You were talking that you was doing a liquid diet.
Yes.
Well, what cleanse was it? A cleanse? What were you
No, it
doing?
was a spiritual fast.
A spiritual fast. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Great.
But back to the juice. Info@davidanddonni. There's no E on Donni.com.
Info at David and Don. I'm gonna write it down right now.
There it is.
Thanks for your time.
Think of a number in your head. How much do you think it would cost for me, a pretty successful entrepreneur, to coach you every single day, to give you all of the game? I'm talking about every day for an entire year, Monday through Friday. I'm on a virtual call teaching you how I've done the things that I've done, and me updating you every single day in real time on all the business moves that I'm making, all the negotiations that I'm in, everything that I'm doing before I actually do it. How much you think? And let's say Monday through Friday, and then on Thursdays we do a Q&A where not only do you get a chance to ask your questions and get them answered, but you get to hear the answer from a whole community, hundreds of other people on a call, and you get their answers that are going to help you too. What do you think? And once or twice a year, get together, free conference that we all get to come to, and you get to meet all these people that you see virtually. How much do you think that would cost every single year? 10,000? Not even close. It would probably be closer to 100,000 because it's just, my time is valuable, and to give you the sauce that's going to help you make millions, I'd have to charge you at least 100,000. But what I've done is created a community where you get the advantage of learning how to become an entrepreneur. You get to network with hundreds of entrepreneurs every single day. You got a community that keeps you inspired and excited. You will read a book club with us every single day. We'll also have an event where we come together once or twice a year for free. We do all of that for $399 for the year. Now, you can also get it at $79 a month, but $400, the price it costs for 2 pairs of Jordans, no tax, of course. You get all of that, $399. Now is the time you join the Morning Meetup. You've been watching the Social Proof Podcast. You've been watching me build my business. You've seen where it started. And if you're just now understanding what's going on with my brand, go ask somebody. I've got receipts of things that I built over the last decade, okay? I am willing to coach you, $399 for the year. Listen, go to themorningmeetup.com or click the link in this video. Let's get back to the episode, but keep in mind, I want to coach you. Let's get started.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Anybody else that didn't get a chance to ask a question that, you really want to ask a question? Yes,
Right
sir.
here.
Oh.
So I know we've been talking about monetizing right away, but I was wondering, is there a time point where it's too soon? So I have a YouTube channel with 85,000 subscribers. So in my forms, where I do my brand deals, I have the brands, they'll fill it out and they have a projected budget. But I have about 50 people who want to appear on my show, and they have projected budgets, but I've never done an interview before. So I want to start a podcast to start doing interviews. They'll still be able to appear on my YouTube channel. But when I do my first interview, should I be charging?
What's your conversation about?
So I want to start conversations about different people who've transitioned through different industries. So my YouTube channel is about my transition through the hair industry. So I started off, graduated college, went to the military, then became an entrepreneur.
Are you from Detroit?
From Grand Rapids, Michigan. Destiny
I
Adams.
heard it in your tone. What up, though?
What up, though?
I heard your voice.
You're not even from Michigan.
I know. Yo, there are accents I can tell. So
Fraud.
Yeah.
now I went to college. All of my friends was from Michigan, so I hear it in some of the words she says. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I want to do transitions of how other people have transitions through, pretty much transitioned through life and ended up in either the hair industry or something close to it in the beauty industry.
Do you have people right now that are offering to pay you to be on their show?
Well, not to pay, well, for them to pay me to be on mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, then it sounds like it's time to monetize.
Like just from day one.
What's up?
Okay.
Where should I send the invoice?
Right.
Yes.
And who knows it's day one but you?
Exactly. Well, it's not day
It's
one.
not day one.
It's not. You've got 85,000 subscribers. You've got some social proof. You've been doing this. This is a conversation with proof of concept, meaning you've proven this conversation is interesting and appealing to the point where people are reaching out and saying, how much? Zelle or ACH? What are we doing?
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. How much you gonna charge?
I don't know. So the way I do my brand deals is I ask their projected budgets. And I go for the most.
I ain't
I
mad.
like the most.
I like the
I
most.
do like the
But
most.
how do I decide what's the least I should charge?
That's up to you.
Like, I just feel, I don't know, I feel kind of weird about doing this since it's my first time doing interviews.
So I'm like if it's my first time, I go super all in type of person.
Okay.
We didn't had a lot of first times. You go all in every single time. There's no reason, especially when you already have a proven concept. You're just introducing another segment maybe. Now where you're doing interviews. When me and David did our very first episode, we treated it was the first one, but we treated it just like all the other episodes that he had done prior to. I think we figured that it was 50 episodes you did before me. He had done about 50 episodes before I came on. He didn't approach this new segment with David and Donni for the first time. We just did the interview. We just had the conversation, right?
It makes sense. Mm-hmm.
When we started charging people, there was an introductory price that we were comfortable speaking out of our mouths. So the price that you should charge up front, if you are somebody who's afraid, is what are you comfortable speaking out of your mouth? What's the most you're comfortable asking for? Go with that price.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
See what happens.
See what happens. And if you get no's, then bring it down a little bit. And you can always go back to that person and say, hey, we're running a special right now. We're offering a 30% discount for blah, 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 blah. All you need is an affiliate link or something like that. And come on, you can just hear. And so when we increased the price for the podcast, I had a couple of conversations with people that were like, man, it's that much? Yeah. How much did you? And my question is, how much did you expect to invest to be featured on the #1 podcast for Black entrepreneurship? And then they would tell me a number. Oh, well, I was expecting it would be around X, Y, and Z. Then I hit Shan's like, we want to take X, Y, and Z. And that's really how we found our number. Honestly, the number that we charge even today is still not a fair number to us because the brands that come on do 8X that easily, right? But it's the number that we're comfortable that makes it worth our time, a number that they can also invest in paying, and a number that makes sense as it relates to the result. So that's another thing. Like, what is the result? We know that coming onto the Social Proof podcast, at this time, we're doing 1 million downloads a month. We know that there's more than 260,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel. We know that we are putting you in front of a tremendous audience that you did not ordinarily have access to. We know that David is going to ask you dynamic questions that highlights your brand. We know that this is going to be a great conversation. We know you're going to make money. So we are comfortable charging that number because we know what we bring to the table. Mm-hmm. So for you, it just might be exposure. So then you might you can even do some research and say, well, what are people paying for exposure? I like to do with exposure pieces, how much would they have paid for ads to be in front of 85,000 people? Mm-hmm. Start there.
All right. Thank you.
Or think of, you know how much it is to post on the Shade Room? You know how much?
It's like 6,000 right now.
Is it 6 now?
I think it's 6.
Last time I checked, it was 4, and it just keeps going up. You know why it keeps going up? Do you know why? You know why?
No.
Because people keep paying it.
People keep paying it.
It was $2,500 at one point. I would imagine somebody on their staff told somebody one day, it's $3,000. And someone took it. Became the number.
And then they said, let's try 4. Let's see what they say.
Yeah,
Let's see what they do.
4,000. And then somebody took it. And now that becomes the number. So let's just say, Shade Room, $6,000 for a post that lasts how long?
Maybe 48 hours.
Half a day.
Half a day.
Because they post so much stuff on top of it. And ain't nobody scrolling all the way down to see your posts. Now, on YouTube, how long do people watch the same video?
Years.
Years. Years. I was looking at my analytics the other day. And the episode that I did with Maddie J, which was 2020, 2.5, 3 years ago, was still in the top 10 monetization. You understand what I'm saying? Meaning it's still one of the most viewed videos 2.5 years later. How much you gonna pay for that? And let's just bank it on like Shade Room. And we put it together. Hey, Shade Room is X amount of dollars. This is X amount of dollars. This is X, I'm charging this. And it stays there forever. The longevity it's a way better investment.
Yeah. And you don't have people in your comments attacking your featured guests.
Yeah.
Right? You have an audience that we know. Like you exposure content on Shade Room is fantastic, right? You got to be thick-skinned and be prepared because people are going to eat you alive no matter how great you are. But also, we don't know that their following is for you. Whereas the Social Proof podcast, if you are an entrepreneur or an influencer or you offer some type of transition, we know that that's our audience. We know that we're putting you in front of prime listeners and purchasers.
She's sprinkling this ad in here, ain't she?
Mm-hmm.
How many people are like, oh, I want to advertise on there now? She's so good at it.
info@davidbeckham.com if you want to talk about
100%.
it. Ad inside Social Proof.
Throw it out there. That's what you guys are building right now as a marketing company for people. So if you charge somebody, let's say $5,000. Let's say, were you thinking 5? What were you thinking? What were you thinking?
Who, me?
Yeah,
So I was thinking 1,200.
1,200. Let's just say.
Who said, oh my God, real quick? Who said that? Christy? Why'd you say, oh my God?
It's like you could get 5,000 to 6,000.
Easy.
High, right? And see, but you're like undercutting yourself so much. In
Yeah.
my opinion.
I would go on your show with 1,200. I use one.
Run it.
Where you shoot out of?
At
Michigan?
home.
In Michigan?
Nope, I'm in Dallas now.
Oh, got you.
The flight.
Yeah,
$300
to promote
to go
Morning
to Dallas.
Meetup over there.
It's $300 to get the flight.
Yeah.
$1,200 is her fee. $1,500 for
Right.
85,000 subscribers.
And then got some I have clips that I can use for my own.
Mm-hmm.
Run it. I'm gonna look at your page, see some engagement. I'll do that.
Okay.
Then raise the price after they pay you.
Let's slow down, okay?
That's the
No, but right.
And if I am y'all,
Sure.
I am holding her to that $1,200 and trying to figure out how to get on her show. You got at least 10 people in this room who need to be on your podcast.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Anybody in here in business and you've transitioned in your business from one space to the next space? Raise your hand if you have.
It got to be 3 transitions.
Yo.
Have you had 3 transitions? Did you start? Did you have a little success and now you have more success than that? Raise your hand real quick. 1,200 right there. 85,000
Yeah.
people.
And let me tell you,
I need 20% of whatever you collect.
people need us. They need us to grow their business. I'll say this. There are a lot of people that came on, let's say the Social Proof podcast, but before they came on, they weren't doing as well as they're doing right now. Why? Because they need a platform to stand on to show how amazing they are. Not saying that they were all broke, but I can't say that we didn't help with that. Make sense? So think about the strategy that most marketers are using. It's either ads or getting on someone else's platform. They need us. And then they're going to start to run out. There's this circle of, whether it's on my show, Ash Cash, Earn Your Leisure. It's really only 3 in the space, really, of entrepreneurship. You get on one of us. But there's a bunch of channels out there who also have exposure, which is a whole nother audience. That's why when you say it, I'm like, yo, yes, I'll do that. 100%. Because I'm an entrepreneur and I understand the value of exposure to an audience.
All your guests come to your home in Dallas?
So I haven't had any guests on there yet.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So with that, is it virtual or do you plan to have guests come to your home?
So I want to rent out a studio.
Okay.
Yeah. Could cover that cost.
But I was just deducting the flight and the hotel from it, making it even more reasonable. If it was virtual. Yeah. It could be.
Right.
I hate same day, but it could be.
All right. Anybody else that didn't get a chance to ask a question, that has a question? You did not get a chance to ask a question today.
Sonia.
She has mad questions, but nobody else raised their hand. So what you got? Let's do it. And
Right
then
there,
and then
Mike.
we're here. You just watched this whole episode. If you like this episode, watch this one right here. Click right here. You're going to like this one if you like the one you just watched. Check it out.